Okay. Last weekend, I put a question box on my Instagram for a Q&A for here on YouTube. And then also I put it onto my shorts that you could ask a question. But honestly, I think there's only like 4 questions on it because, and I need to do a little bit of housekeeping now because of this. So even if you're subscribed to my channel, you don't see my videos. You need to press the bell icon so that you're notified if I post a video. If you're interested in seeing them, I don't require you to do that. If you're not interested, it's up to you what you're notified about. But I do get comments on videos, like even the last one that I put up, somebody was saying something like, oh my God, it's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in over a year. Oh my God, I've only started posting in the last year, like from literally 1 year ago is when I've been putting up videos. So obviously, because my channel is so small, you're not gonna see it on your feed. So basically, if you want to keep up to date and you want to see the videos, you need to be subscribed and you need to press the bell icon. Okay, so it's question time. I've done a couple of Q&As before and it is always the same, that the questions kind of can fit into common themes. So if there's a few questions that are kind of the same, I'm just going to do one, but it's going to answer your question if you were not the person who asked this specific question. And I'm going to keep on looking down because I have it on my computer screen because I'm using my phone to record right now. So I'm going to start with the questions from YouTube first. There's actually 5 questions, not 4. So Sherry Dawson says, if stage 3 breast cancer is diagnosed, why would they not do a lumpectomy versus going straight to a mastectomy? So this is not the case, Sherry. I don't know if you're saying that because that's what you were offered. It may be the case that that's the only option for you, but the last video that I put up was about lumpectomy versus mastectomy, which I described to the best of my knowledge. But if you can have a lumpectomy when you have stage 3 breast cancer, it is possible. I suppose if it's stage 3 cancer that is quite invasive, as in it's across the breast, maybe there's DCIS as well across the breast. And then if it's spread to your lymph nodes and you need the axillary clearance, maybe they're going to just take out the whole lot because that's the safest option for you. But if you have stage 3 cancer, it is possible that your surgery would be a lumpectomy. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Lupe, maybe? When you have chemotherapy and radiation treatments, they say you may get chemo brain, forgetting things. Does your memory always come back or get better? Okay, chemo brain. Look, I've never had radiation to the brain, so unlike radiotherapy did not give me chemo brain or anything like that. Like chemo brain, it's chemo brain. That's chemo brain. And then also the anti-hormonal treatments mess with your mind a little bit as well. Chemo brain is like this. It's not that you forget things. You don't forget things about your past. You don't forget who people are or anything like that. It's not at all like that. What it is that your brain just becomes fuzzy. I wouldn't say that I had, no, I did have memory loss, because actually really, when I look back at things that happened during chemo, and obviously I can do that because I have videos here, and then also, you know, I kept all of those diaries and I wrote everything down. When I go back and look at those things now, I don't remember certain aspects of it. I don't remember writing it. I don't even remember writing it, you know? And then things that I say in the videos, I don't remember feeling those things. So I suppose in that way, I think it's a bit like child's birth. If you've ever given birth to a baby, at the time you can definitely think, oh my God, this is the worst thing in the world. But because of the endorphins and the hormones and the way that nature works, you actually forget about all that stuff, and that's what makes you have another baby. I think it's good that you forget those things about chemo, because there's enough trauma involved than to remember all of it. The other thing is, now this is the main thing that happened with me with chemo brain. I could not read anymore. So I could be reading a book, I could be reading something online, but my brain couldn't put it together. So I would read a sentence over and over and over again, and I could not make sense of it. That's a thing that happened. When you are speaking, you can find it difficult to remember the word that you're thinking of, that you're trying to think of. Conversation is pretty simple, basically. You can't do any kind of deep thinking, which is really good as well, because you don't want to be doing any deep thinking when you're in the midst of chemo. You just need to get through it, really. After chemo, after radiotherapy and everything, excuse me, I definitely felt dumb. I felt like I had gotten a little bit more stupid. I suppose one of the reasons for that was that I hadn't really been using my mind and using my brain for a year. As they say, use it or lose it. So that's why it's very good for you to do kind of things that stimulate the mind. But having said that, I did go back and do my postgrad starting the next year, and I got first class honors, thanks very much. So I'm not that stupid. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard. And I did notice, excuse me, I did notice when I was studying that I had to work really hard to get the brain working properly again. But in answer to your question, no, it's not permanent, and it's not memory loss as such. It's just really like a fuzzy brain, a bit like pregnancy brain. Okay, so Nicola says, hi Dee, did you have a feeling your breast cancer was returning? By that I mean, did you have any pain or symptoms that made you think it had returned? No, nothing at all. There was nothing. Even looking retrospectively, I had no signs or symptoms that I had bone mets. I do get back pain, but actually my back pain's on the other side. So the cancer is on this side, but I get back pain on this side, and it's the same back pain that I have had since I was about 12 years old. I had an accident when I was a kid, so my back was never right again. And yeah. Recently, I've had these strange kind of pains on this side, but honestly, I don't know if it's just an ache or a pain, or if it is the cancer. I have no idea. I did explain in a video how I found out about my cancer being back, and sorry to be repeating myself, but it was just by chance, really, that I found out, and it was that I had wanted to come off the anti-hormonal therapies. My oncologist had agreed that I could come off it for 2 years, and it was dependent on my CT scan being clear. I did that CT scan and it was not clear. So that's what happened there. Jody says, did you have node involvement? So I'm taking it to be the initial diagnosis. So yeah, I did. I had node involvement. I had actually quite extensive node involvement. The node, I could feel the lymph nodes before I went for scans or anything like that. They were pretty big. And actually, and I can tell you this now because I am the future version of me, after the surgery was done, so I had chemo before my surgery. After the surgery was done, there was no therapeutic effects of chemo on the lymph nodes. So it was already in the lymphatic system. So the reason that I'm saying this is that we're talking here where my cancer has returned and I am stage 4. But if you look at the cancer that was specific to me, it's kind of inevitable that this is what was going to happen. Robert says, will breast cancer come back if I had a mastectomy? Right, I better just say here now as well, I'm not medical myself, so I'm not the person to ask these kind of questions, okay? But I had a mastectomy and my breast cancer did return, but the person next to me could have had a mastectomy and their cancer would never return. So really it's specific to the staging and grading, the invasiveness, how long it had been there. There's so much involved in it, and the best person to talk to about it is your own oncologist who knows your case, who knows your history, and they can give you all the information that you need. So on to Instagram. Lovely little question there from Robin. How are you? To be honest, I was going to say I'm great, I'm fine. And really I am doing really well and I am fine. But just in the interest of honesty, Kisqali or Ribociclib is kicking my butt at the moment. So if you're on Ribo, you know that each cycle is 3 weeks on the drug, 1 week off. So your 1 week off is where you kind of recover, your neutrophils come back up, and you're ready for the next cycle. Week 1 and 2 are okay. Week 3, I am always sick. Now, I don't mean nauseous. I mean, I catch an infection. For the last 3, maybe 4 months, on week 3, I've caught an infection each time. I am on the highest dose of Ribo, so that's 600 milligrams. The dosing can be 600 milligrams, 400 milligrams, and 200 milligrams, and it's quite common to drop down. And in fact, I feel like I'm on cycle, I don't count the cycles anymore, I'm really bad, but I feel like I'm on cycle maybe 13, or I might be going into 14, I can't remember, it's a year in anyway. So a lot of people will not tolerate the drug in the first few cycles, and they could have dropped down to 400 or 200. It's just dependent on each individual person. It just so happens that I tolerated it much better than other people, and that's not like a specific character trait or something of mine. It's not that like, oh wow, aren't I so great? It's that biologically I was able to tolerate it better than another person. I'm giving it 1 more month, and then I'm going to meet with my oncologist and see about lowering the dose. But actually, I want to talk to her about maybe if I could have the higher dose for the 2 weeks and lower it in the 3rd week, or maybe in the 2nd week and then raise it up again. I don't know. I'll see with her if there's a way of doing that. When it came to things like the hair loss and stuff, I didn't want to lower the dose just because I didn't like my hair falling out. But when it comes to infection and like extreme fatigue, OMG, it's Saturday. I start the next cycle on Monday and I'm still wreck tired. I'm so tired. Not sure how to say this name. I don't even know if it is a name, but what was the grade of your tumor? So initially when I was diagnosed, I was stage 3, and they had thought that the tumor was grade 2 because that's what the biopsy had shown. But after the surgery, they found out that there was grade 2 and grade 3 within the tumors. So I think it was predominantly grade 2, but there was grade 2 and grade 3, and I was stage 3. Right. Something whatever 95 says, what are your favorite self-care practices when going through treatment? Right. I'm just going to say now, going through treatment, or just how I am now, I really don't remember what I was doing before. I used to have baths all the time. I had a bath in my old house. I don't have a bath now, which is really annoying. But I used to just get in the bath for like 2 hours at a time when I was going through chemo. It was lovely. Loved it. I didn't have a port or a pick or anything like that, so I could just do whatever I wanted. But now, self-care, right? Let's look at it like this. Let's look at it holistically, okay? So I just like to, the main thing is look after my mental health. Talked about this before. So if there's anything in your life that causes you anxiety, get rid of it. That is my top tip. If it's a person who causes you anxiety, why do you need that? You don't need that. Get rid of it. You don't have to be an asshole about it. You can just cut the contact, you know? If you're in a situation, if it's your job, if it's, I don't know, even like a club or a group that you're a part of, and you think, gosh, I hate this. Or I'll tell you something, videos on YouTube. Do you know how stressful it is to actually be one of those people that posts on a schedule? I did Vlogmas. Oh, Vlogmas. Oh, it is so stressful. So, like the thoughts of it, do you know? I will never, ever turn on this and start filming a video if I don't feel like it, you know? And that's, nobody cares because I don't have a schedule. I don't have people who are like, I'm waiting for your video. That I don't have that. So you really need to look inside yourself and see what's causing you any unhappiness, what's causing you any anxiety, what's causing you to be depressed, what's causing you to be sad, anything like that, and just get rid of that from your life. You do not need it. You don't need it. Another thing is having things to look forward to. This, genuinely, this is one of the most important things. And, you know, I know that even my own mom, like she doesn't have cancer, but she needs it in her life. The same thing, that we have something to look forward to. And for us, we really look forward to doing our family holiday in the summertime. I love if we get to book a little hotel. We have like a hotel that's really close to where I live, but when you're in it, you feel like you're somewhere else. And it's really nice. It's like, it's really lovely and fancy. And I'm not like, you know, flashing the cash or anything like that. But, you know, if you can, for 1 or 2 nights, just get away like that. It's so nice. It's lovely to do that. Then you have other things like Christmas, and it doesn't even have to be a big thing. You could be like, on next Friday, we're gonna do, you know, here with the kids, like we're gonna do a lovely movie night. So it means that we're gonna like throw our mattresses down in front of the TV. We're all gonna have our duvets. We're gonna be in our PJs. We're gonna have a pizza party. We're gonna have all the treats and everything. And then we're all gonna sleep together and have like a little sleepover. And that's like, it's a cute, fun thing. And it's just something so simple to get you through your week. Elsa says, do you think that life can ever be the same after a breast cancer diagnosis and treatment? Elsa, no. Right. This is so important. Your life is never, ever going to be the same. And one of the biggest hurdles to get over is realizing that and coming to terms, okay? And so you are just never, ever going to be that same person again. Once that diagnosis happens and all of that stuff happens afterwards, all of your treatments and everything, this person that you were before, they're gone. You are never, ever going to be this person again. And that's not a bad thing, okay? Let's think about it like this. Today, I am not the same person that I was yesterday. Tomorrow, I'm not going to be the same person that I was today. Things happen in life and it changes you. The thing about us is that as people get older, things happen in their lives and they learn from these experiences. And that's why it's so great. Like if I have a conversation with my dad, he is full of life experience and he can give us advice that, you know, a peer couldn't give us because they haven't experienced it yet, okay? So the natural way of things is that you get older and that these things happen and that you change. The person that you are when you're 20 is not the person that you are when you're 50. The person that you are when you're 50 is not the person that you are when you're 70. That's the natural way of it. When you get a cancer, when you get a cancer diagnosis and you go through all of that, it all happens in a small space of time. It's traumatic, okay? So imagine that somebody is 20 and suddenly they're 50. Of course, that's gonna blow their mind because they were slowly able to reach the age of 50. So much happens to you in such a relatively short amount of time that you feel you should be the person that you were 9 months ago, but you're not. So really, the really important thing is that you look after your mental health when treatment ends. I would highly suggest talking to somebody, a therapist, a counselor, somebody, to get all of the thoughts out. You don't have to know what it is that you're going to talk about, but each week that you go in, you're going to say more things that you're thinking about, and talking to somebody is going to help you to process all of it. So really, so yes, you're never going to be the same person again, but it is not a bad thing. I actually don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the person that I used to be. I don't want to be the person I was 2 years ago. I am happy to be me now. So long story short, you just need to really accept that that's just not going to happen, because it's not possible. You aren't the same person, and you're never going to be the same person. And the person that you are now is a better person. You're a better person now. You've had an incredible experience in your life, and you will find so many lessons in what happened. Okay, that's that. Okay, so Brandy says, do you do or consider doing anything outside of conventional medicine? So yeah, I absolutely am on board with complementary therapies. You just need to make sure that you discuss it with your medical team, with your oncologist, to make sure that nothing that you are doing is going to interact with conventional therapies. During chemo, I did reflexology, which was really good. It's on your feet. And yeah, if anything, it's incredibly relaxing. But the idea of it, you know, if you believe it, it's really good, you know, so absolutely. And then also I do take supplements now. I mentioned that I started taking things for my bones and joints, and I have finished it. I've finished like a month of it, and actually it does help. So yeah, absolutely. Now, the only thing I'll say is that, like, I absolutely have no time for the quackery. Okay, and I actually, because I saw this, I screenshotted 2 messages. They're here. Yeah, okay, so this is it, right? Whatever you see people commenting on videos on the internet or whatever, that's not a reliable source, okay? I'm not a reliable source for you either. You need to, like, WHO, World Health Organization, that's a reliable source. Anything that there's a blue bar underneath videos that come from a medical professional here on YouTube, that's a reliable source. A really good website to go to it's a British one, so we don't have it here, but Macmillan Cancer Support. So much information, so much help, so good. Yeah, listen to this, right? So one person comments, I don't want to say their name now, because have you ever thought of intermittent fasting, green juicing, and do raw veg for a while? Please research on that and you'll be amazed. Get off wheat. I know it's hard, but it's doable. I've discovered so many yummy non-wheat stuff since I left wheat. Again, take it kindly from me. Okay, so this person is like, don't take wheat. It's gonna cure your cancer, and only do raw veg. Somebody else says, please research about a supplement called Metatrol, aka fermented wheat germ. It's a cancer patient's best friend. Literally, that was on the same video within 2 hours of each other. One person saying have nothing to do with wheat, and another person saying it's your best friend. So just be careful about the quackery, you know? The other thing is, by the way, oh my God, sugar does not cause cancer. Stop it. Stop that. Yeah, sugar isn't great for you, but sugar feeds all cells in your body. And do you know what part of your body requires the most amount of sugar in your blood? Your brain. Your brain. So all of those people who go onto other people's videos and say, oh my God, stop, sugar causes cancer. They're depriving their brains of sugar. That's what makes them say that. Now, there is a few heavy questions. And to be honest, I have so much to say about this that I feel I have to make a different video about it, because I want to give it the time that it deserves. I want to give people the time they deserve. I want to be able to give my honest opinion and my tips and how I dealt with things. So that is what I'm going to do. So these kind of questions are, do you constantly ruminate about cancer? Does it give you crippling anxiety? No, it doesn't. And no, I don't. And I want other people to be able to feel that way too. I hate that it does this, that it takes over your life and that you are living in fear and not enjoying your life. I hate that for you. So I really, I want to give that the time that it deserves. And like, how do you get rid of the fear of death and leaving your family? Someone said, I'm due for my 5-year review and maybe discharge. Why do I feel more anxious now? It's so, like, it's normal that you're feeling that anxiety, but you don't have to feel it. So I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to like clickbait people or anything like that, but really I have so much to say about it that I want to dedicate a whole video to it, because it's a really common question that comes up. You know, people will say to me, like, they have this idea that I'm really zen and that I don't worry. I was there. I did feel that, but I changed my thinking, and I'm not a hippie. I'm not I'm so mindful or anything like that. I am the opposite, actually. And I was able to change my thinking, and I would love for other people to be able to change their thinking as well, so that they can get back to enjoying their lives and stop living in fear. So I'm sorry, I hope that you don't mind, but I'm going to put that into another video because I do think it's incredibly important. So that was the Q&A. Honestly, I don't even know if that's going to have been helpful at all, but I have to go because I need to go and take my children to their swimming lessons. So also I never say this, but just click subscribe and the little bell icon so that you will get the next video. If you are wondering about how to get over the anxiety and everything, that's going to be my next video that I put up. So if you're interested in seeing that, subscribing and ringing the bell will make sure that you do get to see that video. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.